Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, we as fans of To Catch a Predator are always looking out for content that furthers our enjoyment of this dusty old show. I think what I have for you today is going to scratch an itch that you didn't even know you had. There exists an actual full-fledged To Catch a Predator musical. Now, about 4 years ago, this project was nearing its first live performance when COVID hit. Sadly, the project was shelved, at least temporarily. I found out about this musical after a random Google search. I was so captivated that I reached out to the writers and they responded. It took a couple of months to get together on Zoom, but we made it happen. They were even kind enough to share the entire recorded score with me, which I have included throughout this interview. These folks are the real deal. Artistic, energetic, and talented in everything they do, from what I can tell. I really enjoyed looking into their collective works and talking to them about many projects. Whale, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. Now sit back and enjoy my talk with the writers of To Catch a Predator, the musical.
What would you do with me when we are here and alone? Would you bring flowers and candies to me at my home?
I would do anything, everything that you would say, only to know that I'm bringing you joy every day.
What would you do with me?
I
Say to me,
would
what would you
take
give to me? What could we do when we're here and
care of
alone? Would you bring flowers and candies to
We'll
me? Maybe
not
puppies and liquor
have
and
a
Barbies to
thing
me at my home?
This will be a treat I won't forget. I hope this isn't something I'll regret.
I'm here today talking with the what do you say, the librettist? How's that pronounced? The writer.
Yes, that's right.
And
Yes.
the musical composers for
Yeah, the writers, we did the music and composers. Mm-hmm.
okay, for To Catch a Predator, the musical. Now, I don't know if you folks have had any time to look into who I am, but I have a relatively small channel on YouTube in the what we call the TCAP community, the to Catch a Predator community, where we continue to this day, some 17 years on, continue to analyze and to meme the original program as it was on NBC. And in doing so, we're always looking for fresh content and a fresh take on this TV show that we still know and love to this day. And I will say that at some point, possibly early this year or late last year, I typed into Google To Catch a Predator, the musical, on a whim.
Oh my goodness.
And in doing so, I came up with an interview that you folks did with a gentleman named Jason, I believe.
Yes, Jason Leva.
Okay, over at like the, I don't know, the Fort Worth Theater.
Community Arts Center.
Community
Yeah.
Arts Center, okay. And was captivated that not only did my Google search hit, but the product that you guys had created was really enjoyable. And I was stunned that now it's been, 9 years at least since you started that project.
God, has it been that?
Well,
I think so, yeah.
The pandemic has left me with no concept of time. So
okay.
Same, yeah.
So I was looking at the year that the interview was done with Jason, and that was like 4 years ago. And then within the interviews, somebody mentions that the project was started 5 years prior to that. So I'm looking at a minimum of 9 years ago that you had originally hit on this idea.
Wow.
So Well, yeah, I really want to talk to all of you about many projects, but this is a To Catch a Predator channel, so we'll start with that. And I would like to know, talking specifically to you, Tyler, tell me about coming up with the idea for To Catch a Predator, the musical.
Well, I've always been fascinated by the show, that's for sure. And I kind of wanted to find the happy medium of, going with a highbrow form of entertainment like musical theater and lowbrow such as reality TV and kind of, meeting in the middle. And I think there's a lot to unpack within the show that's more than just how outrageous and scandalous the content can be. It's about kind of a comment on our culture because the show kind of took on a life of its own. It wasn't intended to become this kind of farcical almost sitcom like quality that it later took on. It was a legitimate news program. And, it's been parodied so many times before by, Mad TV. South Park has an entire episode about it, which is really funny. The Emmy Awards, Conan O'Brien and Chris Hansen himself participated in a sketch, making fun of the show.
Right.
And so I wanted to kind of explore the absurdity of the show and certainly write a dark comedy, but also kind of explore our relationship with the media and how outrageous and kind of unintentional specific intellectual properties can they can take on a new life essentially.
Sure.
So it was such a crazy idea. I just had to go for it, and I was lucky enough to have Katriva and Nick help me out in so many ways.
Okay.
So it's been a really fun process.
Fantastic. Now I did recall. So in getting ready for this, I basically I have an AI bot that basically told me that I was I'm an online stalker now because I was going to find as much as I could about you folks, the three of you. And, so not having talked to any of you directly, I wanted to know more about you and what was your what is your experience in theater and music and come to find out in film, and so. I have seen as much of your work as I could possibly dig up. The one person whose work I could not find much of was Nick. I couldn't find specific work of yours online, but I could find probably 100 pictures of playbills of plays that you had gone to or had been the creative force behind. And I also know from stalking you folks online, don't take that the wrong way, it's a joke, but
no, it's flattering
that Nick has been to the site of Captain Kirk fighting the Gorn.
That is true. I did. Yeah, that was my 40th birthday present.
That's fantastic. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I was born and raised in San Diego and lived there for 50 years before moving to Japan, and I never made that simple drive up there to those rocks, and I easily could have. So I'm jealous.
It's beautiful. If I lived in California, I understand why people go hiking so often. It's a phenomenal place to go hiking.
Oh man, it looks great. So
beautiful, yeah.
Good job. And I saw some again in doing my research. I saw many pictures of Nick on his journeys. I saw messages, probably on Instagram, of you stating, here's where I'm going tonight to this play. And again, it's just at least dozens of plays that you've witnessed or been a part of producing, and I think I'm jealous of that as well. I haven't seen much theater in my life. My mom did her best to bring me to things such as we went and saw Annie. We've seen Stomp. I saw Phantom with my mom. And that's as much as I can think of right now. And did Reader's Theater in grade school. How about any of you folks, your early years, starting with Tyler? Can you tell me what was your early introduction to theater in general?
I got started later compared to a lot of people. My senior year of high school was when I was in my first play, and I just instantly became obsessed with it. It was my minor in college as an undergrad, and it was just something I did. I was at least auditioning nonstop, not always getting cast, but at least auditioning. Senior year of high school up until the pandemic, and that kind of, knocked the wind out of my sails as it did for a lot of people. And I've gotten to do some voiceover work with my day job, which is something I never thought I would get to do. And so it's really fun to revisit. I'm so glad that you reached out to us because it's kind of reminded me of all of the, fond memories that I have of theater senior year 18 until I was, 36. So
Gotcha.
to have that all of a sudden taken away from me was a bit disorienting. But I'm starting to rediscover the joy of it yet again.
Oh, fantastic. Nick, how about you? What was your introduction to theater and
I mean,
that brought you?
I've been doing theater and choral performance since I was a kid, and then when I graduated high school, I actually gravitated towards film, and was
Okay.
doing that between film and videography. Was doing that for about a solid 10 to 12 years, and then gradually started getting back into theater after that decade or so hiatus. That's actually how I met Katriva. She was acting in one of my films, but she was also doing theater. And then it just so happened that we were on the film set. There was a piano available. Don't ask me why. They
That's
just
right. This is how this started.
Yes, and there was a piano, and I started during a scene setup. I sat there and I started messing around, making up an unofficial theme song for the movie we were shooting. And Katriva said, "Hey, you want to help me write a musical? I got this libretto for To Catch a Predator." And I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing." So that's how that transition, and now I've transitioned back into doing primarily theater work because, well, I'm dating an actress and a theater actress, and she has
Fantastic.
dragged me back to that side. So yeah,
Back to the dark side. Katriva, how long have you been involved in theater and or performing and or, as I understand today, you are doing lighting, possibly, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yes. So I was my first role was Baby Jesus in my parents'
Oh, wow.
production of the some sort of nativity scene. My first, yeah. So like I was
and what
basically
miracle did you perform, Katriva?
atheism.
Ah,
So my first play though that I was in that was not a church production, I was probably 7. And then I was doing 4 to 5 plays consecutive, like every year, from when I was 7 to about 27. So for 20 years, I was in musical theater, opera. I majored in music, and that's kind of. And then I ran a children's theater for a little bit, and Nick and I collabed on 2 other original musicals. Was it just 2? Was it 2? Snow White
yes.
and the Giant.
The Boy Who
Yeah.
Cried Giant? I know it was
The Boy Who
one.
Cried Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know your stuff.
The Boy Who Cried Giant is about Harrison, a hard of hearing young man who we follow throughout the musical. The show starts on his first day of school, and he's quite nervous.
I'm different, but maybe they'll see I can be just like the rest.
To battle his insecurities, he creates an imaginary friend simply named Giant.
I'm your best friend, the best you've ever had.
The show touches on the common struggles of youngsters going into new situations and how they can overcome their doubts. Nicholas Zebrin and I wrote all the music, and it will be our first musical together to be produced.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And then and then I transitioned more into film as well. I was always an editor. I always liked making little movies with my family. And then so I got a job as an editor while I was teaching high school and middle school, and decided I wanted to do editing full time. So I've been back and forth for the past, 8 years as a lighting designer and an editor,
Okay.
while still making my own productions in film. Yeah.
Well, I've seen a number of those. I let's see what I have here. I believe that Henry, was that one that you worked on with Nick?
Yes. Yeah, that's the one that we worked on together. Yes.
What?
That was the first one you directed, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was my first
I was-
narrative. First
I was a
narrative.
crew member for one day.
Oh, that's right.
You were a
Oh,
crew
that's-
member
Oh, yeah.
on
You,
that.
it,
Oh,
Yes, I
fantastic.
was.
Okay.
Couldn't have done it without me. I mean, that's-
So true.
Let's see. So, Tyler,
Yes.
the show itself aired from 2004 to 2008. It was only 20 episodes. I'm wondering, so 2008 puts us, 17 years back. If you did this, if you started this project, say 10 years back, what were you watching? Were you watching the reruns on MSNBC when you were inspired to write To Catch a Predator, the musical?
Yes, but I remember the original run because I was in college at the time and I studied journalism.
Okay.
And so that was
Yeah.
certainly a hot button topic in many of my classes, just how ridiculous that show became. And
Sure.
it's only grown and its potency has just increased with the reruns. And Chris Hansen and his personal life have kind of added to the epic nature of it all, because I know that he's run into some personal issues.
He absolutely has. He at one point took my channel down because he claimed
No.
that it was a
Well,
copyright.
guess what? You're a new character in the musical.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Not just mine.
We have our
but,
second act. Perfect.
Yeah. A number of channels were taken down at one point when Chris Hansen aligned himself with a producer for his internet content that said, "Hey, these guys are using your stuff," when in reality it belongs to NBC. And I'm sure you folks know how copyright works and stuff. So in the long run, we were given a verbal apology by Chris Hansen himself, and it was all water under the bridge for me now. At the time, I was furious, but I was able to get my channel back, and so that's story in the past. But that speaks to a lot of the weird and dark turns that Hansen has taken since the show aired. I know in TCAP the musical, there's a storyline that Chris and his Chris is struggling to deal with his family and their needs, while the crew is saying, "But we're your family now. We're the only family you need. Forget that. We need you because you're our livelihood, and so we don't need you worrying about your family." Well, as it came out later, we understand that Chris Hansen was more interested in his mistress than his actual family. So.
We are the best thing to happen to society. You should be proud of your choices. Don't you agree?
I feel ashamed.
Ha! Don't be ridiculous.
I'm such a fraud.
Come on, our show is a must.
I wish you understood my family's angry with me.
We're the only family you need.
Don't you love?
Don't you love?
Art
So
imitating life imitating art. I mean, you can't write this stuff. You can't write it.
Exactly. Yeah. Fascinating turn of events. So you were watching the original series. That's fantastic. How about you, Nick and Katriva? How familiar were you with the show when when Tyler first wrote the story?
I knew about it. I had watched episodes. I was not as persistent a connoisseur as Tyler was, but I knew the general pop culture, zeitgeist that was inhabiting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same for me. I didn't really sit down to watch it. It wasn't like a family event or anything.
But yeah, you knew that it was a sort of trash TV parading as journalism, likely. And I know, Tyler, I was introduced to, because of you, I was introduced to Jerry Springer Opera. I'd never heard of such a thing. But either in the interview you did with Jason or elsewhere online that you mentioned it, then I looked into Jerry Springer the musical, and it seems like it's perfect. The To Catch a Predator, the musical, and Jerry Springer Opera are in that same realm of humor and consciousness of what is journalism, what is just trash and schlock, and enjoyable for schlock's sake.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jerry Springer the Opera is the justification we need for our show existing, basically.
Yeah.
it's very cool, very cool. Now, Jerry Springer the Opera, I don't know the length of that show, but I know that To Catch a Predator the musical runs about 30 minutes. If I listen to the audio, because Tyler has been kind enough to share with me the audio, and it runs about 30 minutes. Was that the intention? Or was it still a work in progress, and then with COVID, it all got truncated? Or how would you explain that?
Yeah, very much so. We were accepted into the original work series at the Fort Worth Community Arts Center with the potential for the work to be workshopped over the course of a year. They were going to take select works from those readings to see which piece could be developed the most or had the most potential. And so the goal was certainly to expand it, especially with the book. That's something I definitely still need to work on. It's just, you know, the pandemic, of course, put a pause on that. So
Okay.
still very much a lot of work to be done.
Yeah. Okay. Now is the project, does it still have life? Is it possible this project can carry on
You know,
going forward?
Oh, I think so. You reignited the interest. I mean, reaching out to me, that was certainly flattering. And, you know, I had kind of accepted theater as something that was no longer a part of my life. And, you know, that I didn't realize how important it was to me until it was gone. And so, and honestly, you sending an email to me and reaching out to me
Wow.
just kind of reignited
Okay.
that fire. So I'm really appreciative of that. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Well, that's wonderful to hear, and I hope that you
Yeah.
all can be, you know, still work together on this. I know I don't know what everybody's been doing in the meantime. I'd say for the out of all of you, the person I know the most about is Katriva, because there's a number of films that I can find and watch and enjoy. Speaking of films that I can enjoy, let's go, Tyler. I Hate You, Josh. The film that was a film that you wrote.
I hate Josh.
I Hate Josh. Is that what it is?
I was the star of my high school's theater department. I was the star of my college's theater department. And I am quickly becoming the star of the community theater scene. Although fame is right around the corner, there is one obnoxious problem that stands in my way. This is Josh. I hate Josh. He's an abomination to the artistic community, and for some reason gets cast in everything he auditions for.
I wrote, directed, produced, and starred in it. It was
Okay.
a crazy idea I had, and it starred my friend Josh. Don't worry, Josh played himself, and
Okay.
I played myself, and it was just about jealousy within the theater community. It was a running joke I had with a friend in college. He was the likable one and always got cast as a lead in every show. And I said, I hate you so much. I'm going to make a movie about how much I hate you one day. And then I just said, well, why don't I just do that? And I did. So there you go.
Oh, I love it. And two questions about that. I get very David Sedaris vibes from your delivery in that film. Are you a fan at all of David Sedaris?
That's the nicest thing I've ever heard in my life. Thank you so much.
Is he not wonderful, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
the way you frame that story and you narrate the story, it just, you know, I was feeling David Sedaris. I'm like, this is so wonderful. It's so funny.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I really think it was well done. And I also want to know, did you write the little monologue about Harry Potter? Was that from your mind?
No, that was Jonathan Ebeling, who is another friend from college. Those are all
Okay.
TCU students because I had just graduated from TCU.
Okay.
But I like how the villain's always different in every movie. You know, the first one, who was the villain? What, Voldemort? But he was the villain in the first one, right? Who's in the second one? It was Voldemort, right? Okay. Who's in the third one? Who's that other guy? Oh, but he turned out to be Voldemort. That's right. Okay. And the fourth one, it was Voldemort again. I like the one where Harry saves the day. That's the one I like. Nobody expects it. Nobody expects that little kid to save the day, but he does. You expect Hermione to save the day because she's bright, but she supports Harry. It's so stupid. It's dumb, okay? It doesn't make any sense. And it's British, and I hate British stuff. I don't like British accents. I was with this girl, and she was like, I like British accents. And I said, I don't like British accents. So you can get out of here. And then she went and had sex with this British guy. And I hated that British guy. I hated him. I hated him. Sorry.
And he made that up on the spot, so I cannot take credit for that monologue. I should put that in the credits. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Okay,
After
well,
all these years.
if you speak to him again in the near future, let him know I'm a big fan. I thought the monologue was especially you know, a standout as well. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I thought I needed to mention David Sedaris because I'm a big fan of his. And when I watched I Hate You, Josh, that came to mind. I'm like, wow, this is in the similar vein, you know, the same sort of style. It's funny. narration. It's it's like almost out of a diary. It's
Oh, well, thank you so much. I don't know if that was intentional, but I certainly am subconsciously, I guess, influenced by him for sure.
okay. Okay, and let's see, Katriva, the few films of yours that I've seen, Huck Up.
Are you okay? What are you doing? Go home.
Henry, there was I saw a trailer for Wednesday's Child. Did that ever get made?
I saw that girl.
Bastion, I'm not here all the time.
Yes, so it's still in the festival. It's still in the festival circuit, so it's not open to the public just yet.
Okay.
But because I have 2 films coming out this year, I'm going to open that up here soon. I think I'm done with the festival circuit because it's about 2 years old now.
Okay.
So that'll be available soon. Yeah, and then I have I'm about to post a trailer to my first feature film, and then the short film that I did in January will be coming out this summer. Should be.
Okay. And Nicholas, you mentioned that you were working on a film with Katriva when you discussed Tyler's project. What was that film that you guys were working on?
That was Requiem for a Shallow Heart.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that one I haven't seen any hide nor hair of. Would that, was
That's,
it just
that's
poor
because
research?
it's behind several password protected things that
okay, okay.
I have yet to remove the passwords on.
What's it called?
Requiem for a Shallow Heart. Yeah.
Nice. I love the name.
That's the last thing film I've directed. That was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that time's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
was that the first project that you worked on with Katriva?
Yes.
as an actress, yeah, I think didn't you script soup for
Three Conversations?
Yeah,
A day.
I think we shot it in 2, so that's half the time.
Okay.
We were there half of it.
I was there half of it, yeah.
No, Katriva and I had known each other for about a year and a half prior to that. And
That was
then-
through David, right?
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Why not?
We know all the same people. We have really no idea how I think we met at the pub through David Crouch, I think is what happened.
Maybe, yeah.
Something like that.
Well,
Who knows?
Tyler, we should get on to talking about To Catch a Predator the musical. The last thing I wanted to mention is I love you, but you're creepy. I love you, but you're creepy. Wait, did you say you were in that?
I cut it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Isn't editing a blast? I love editing video.
I do too.
It's one of my most favorite things in life, so I'm sure you understand. I want to mention a shout out to Carter Frost. I thought that guy was really good in that. I mean, such a small part, but I liked his delivery.
Cinnamon brown sugar. Again. You know, this extra schoolwork is really starting to interfere with your domestic responsibilities. I would have to say that this just might be grounds for divorce. You get it? Grounds? Because coffee is...
no, I got it.
You know, there's plenty of ladies out there that would love to make a gourmet breakfast for their doctor husband. You, my lady, are living the American dream.
Can we talk about this later? I need to get to class.
Coffee, grounds.
I think that guy's got probably big things ahead, I hope, because I really like...
I think so, too.
For such a small part. I don't know what he's up to these days. I didn't look into that, but I did like his part there. And Jason Tamplin was the director of photography. Jason Tamplin, who Katriva worked with on what was to be online video series called Dreaming?
Oh, yeah.
Dreaming? Dreams are scary.
Sleep is scary.
Sleep
Yeah.
is scary.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sleep is Scary.
Sleep is scary.
Sleep is scary.
Where we talk about your messed up dreams.
How did this dream come about?
There in my bed.
The location is
On this stage.
there was somebody standing there with a knife,
And she was in camping clothes.
kind of like a man baby.
Walking in water.
And then out of the blue, behind the couch,
There's this.
full-on bobblehead band.
Just start chasing us down the sidewalk.
You see my concern.
It's just one of those dreams I've always remembered.
After hearing about the dream, what is your takeaway?
I don't even know, dude.
Okay, what happened with that? Because I saw a single episode and enjoyed it, and I guess it's just you can only do so much in a day, right? It seems like you all have so many projects, so many things that you work on at any given time. And again, Katriva's the most prolific that I could find online, and I was astonished by how much stuff you can do and produce. I have 1,000 ideas a day, and maybe one of them gets thought about twice. You have a lot of projects, probably all of you, but Katriva, that
I'm just
project,
more online.
What's that?
I'm just more online than the other two. I put everything everywhere.
Yeah.
We all have a lot of stuff under our belts for sure. But the episode, we just ran out of money. Basically, it's just expensive. And I just ran out. I wanted to do a second episode. We had a whole lineup of what we wanted to do, but it was just taking up so much time and money. I just that's all that it was, because we wanted eventually. I kind of do want to get back to it, maybe rename it. But I love the idea of just interviewing different people about their dreams and reenacting them. I think it's a blast. So
well, yeah, it was fun. It was fun
to make.
One episode that we got to see was fun, and I think you and Jason, is it Jason Tamplin?
Yeah. Actually, he's been my friend. I've known him for 15 years. So he's one of my best friends. He also was the director of photography for Huck Up and for Greengrass and the other one that I don't have online. But he's a good friend for sure.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, Greengrass, that's right. Yeah. Now, before we get to Catch a Predator the music, I gotta say, I know that Katriva, your influences are, you mentioned musically Sondheim. Help me out here. Joseph, the Technicolor Dreamcoat. But but your films are clearly not influenced by these people. Your films are dark and twisted and suspenseful, and it's just funny that the music that you've created with Nick and Tyler is so beautiful and lively and fun, and these videos, the movies that you make are dark.
Oh,
they're twisted. So which one's the real Katriva? Are you
I'm a Gemini, so both.
Oh, that's fantastic. There we go. Okay, I had to mention that since it popped in my head real quick about your influences. Sure. Tyler, writing. What's the writing process? I think you've probably answered this before. What's the writing process for taking your idea and then sharing it with Katriva and Nick? And coming up with a cohesive idea. I mean, how does that work out for you?
The mantra that I kind of live by these days is, instead of just saying, wouldn't it be great if I made this, I actually make it happen. So it can be as simple as sketching out some ideas on a piece of paper. It's amazing how that can increase your motivation, to write something, of this nature. I had written short films and some short plays before, but this was the first musical I had ever written, and I didn't want to use the excuse, well, I've never written a musical before. That's no reason not to try something for the first time.
Right.
And I certainly had plenty of trust in Katriva and Nick to do a great job. And you have to be, all about the collaborative nature of theater, which I'm all about. And they've made it so much better than I could ever make it. That's for sure.
Okay. Nick, how about working in a situation like this? Is this something you've done before or have done many times? That is, sharing writing with two other people?
Never musically. I've collaborated before with scripts, but for music, no, I'd never done it. In fact, this was the first musical I'd ever written. So to have Katriva as a co-writer and co-composer was serendipitous, because we share similar musical backgrounds and influences and likes.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
There were plenty of times, and Katrina had said that there were moments we were sitting at the piano and it was like we were thinking the same thought at the same time in terms of
That's
chord
awesome.
progressions, in terms of the type
Melody,
of song.
yeah.
So to have Katriva as a collaborator for that first time was wonderful, and that's why we wrote 2 other musicals. Not in the same vein, but
Yeah.
It was 4 children. It's for 4 children.
I can tell you guys must have just had a blast working
Oh,
on
we
this.
did.
It was
It was
fun,
some of the
yeah.
best times of my life. Best times of my life, for sure.
I think we were laughing every time we got to a part where we needed a lyric or something. We were just falling out of our chairs laughing because it was
Oh, yeah.
it was so absurd. But you, like Tyler said, you kind of have to treat it with a certain seriousness. And when you combine those two, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hard to get it all done because we were just laughing our butts
Yeah.
off the entire time. Every
Yeah.
musical that we wrote together, it was hard to finish because, for one, I mean, it was easy because we were so in sync. Like literally, we would be sitting there in silence and then be like, "Oh, got an idea" at the same exact time, kind of stuff. That
Right.
it was wonderful. But it probably would have taken less time if we weren't just so I don't know, just
Undisciplined.
undisciplined. Yeah, I was gonna say we're both funny as hell, but I think that's but I think it's also helped us as well.
Yeah.
Well, the state of the musical as it stands today, from what I've seen, from what Tyler's been able to share with me, is marvelous. I love it. There's lines in there that are straight out of the show, which is, as fans of the show, I think myself and my friends online will love. Like there's a line where the Predator says, "So how about a hug?" and which prompts Chris Hansen to come in. That's a situation that gets repeated numerous times in the show, is because that's the cue for Hansen to enter, because obviously they don't want the Predator touching their decoy, right? Let's see.
The Predators love Ice-T. That'll get him every time.
That'll get him every time, too. That's right. Another favorite of mine is in What Would We Do Alone? Hansen, I guess, delivers a line. "Is that so? Well, I have the transcript of your little chat right here. I'll make this an evening you won't forget." And the man says, "You already have, sir." And Hansen says, "No, that's what you said," because he's reading from the chat log. It reminds me of a time when Hansen said, "So I take it you're a virgin?" And the Predator says, "No, sir." And he says, "No, not you. I'm reading from what you said in the chat." Yeah. So well done of drawing from the show and bringing it into the script. I did get a message from Zoom that I may get shut off here. Oh wait, no, we have 7 minutes. Okay, never mind. I'll try and zing this along. I thought that it was telling me that I had like a minute left. So let's see. The next on my list of questions. We've already talked about the troubles that have plagued Chris Hansen since the show was on the air, and there are numerous. He was busted for evading taxes. He took a bunch of money from people online to create Hansen versus Predator, which ended up being a decent show, but he never delivered on the rewards end of it. So that upset a lot of people. Again, he was busted, caught on camera with his mistress. He's since remarried, good for him, a happy life to him. And he's since dumped that dirty dog of a producer that, was leading him down the wrong path. It was bizarre that he thought that the best way forward was to go after the fans that still remained,
Right.
It was a very strange choice. So if the musical, Tyler, continues and gets Act 2, I definitely would like to see reference to that, his... If you need help, discussing who this man was, we can write the villain in very easily. We had to deal with him very personally.
Absolutely. I will be giving you a call for sure.
Okay, good, brother. So we talked about the musical very short. Oh, a question that I have from my community. If I say either of these names, would you know who they are? Do you know who Lorne Armstrong is? Any of you? Lorne Armstrong. Or how about Jeff Sokol? Okay. So it's fine that you don't know. That just means that you're decent, normal people. These two are absolutely the most infamous from To Catch a Predator. If there's a second act, I believe that it would be great if there was a reference to one or both of these people. Obviously,
That makes sense.
You probably can't call them by name, but you can design characters to fit, their mold. And just looking out for you guys as far as like an audience, because there's To Catch a Predator, there's at least tens of thousands. I mean, there's channels that cover the topic that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So I know there's an audience out there for this to this day. And hopefully, that this does go forward. I want to talk about other memorable lines. This will be an experience you won't be able to forget. So that was a nice touch. I mean, the Predator could have said this will be an experience you won't forget, but to add an experience that you won't be able to forget, I assume that was from Tyler. Tyler, good job.
I don't know if I can take credit for that one.
I feel like that's a Nick line.
Oh, is it a
that
Nick
sounds
line?
like
I knew it.
It might
I should have kept my mouth shut. It was
Yeah.
that sounds like something you would say.
It was spoken and not sung, and that's why I assumed that it came from Tyler's hand. But
Oh, okay, gotcha.
excellent line there, though. It's very well done. Did this ever get a stage performance, by the way?
No, we just had, it was supposed to be a live staged reading, but it turned into a virtual reading at the last minute because that was right when the theater started to shut down. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's really a bummer that the audio on the one that you guys did with Jason with the community center, the audio is really bad on that. And I was like, oh, that's
terrible.
so unfortunate.
Because
But
they had a day to put it together, so, you know.
yeah. But and the audio on this is probably going to be horrible, and I'll send you an email that says, hey, we can't use it. But the audio that you sent me that was recorded elsewhere, recorded in a studio apparently because it's so crisp and clean, is perfect, is great.
Good.
So do you have any issues while we're on the subject of me using any of the music that you sent me in the video? And maybe we could talk about that afterwards. Maybe I could send you a cut because I'd like to, within this interview, drop in pieces of the music with the lyrics on screen. So we'll talk about that. Katriva, do you have any issue with me showing clips from your movies? When I mention Huck Up, can I show a segment? Can I show, if I mention Henry, can I show him walking down the hallway or feeding his dog or whatever?
Yeah, sure. Not a problem at all.
Okay, fantastic. I appreciate that. Let's talk about Tango of the Decoy. I really enjoy the decoy's exasperated tone that you use there. It seems exactly how a decoy would actually feel after chatting with these guys. She has lines like, ain't that grand? Oh, you're such a friend. And yeah, I get the point. See you soon. Just trying to usher him offline and into the house, right?
As I sit at my computer screen, I only think of you and your sweet face.
Could you tell?
We'll be happy as we live together, making music on a daily basis.
Ain't that grand?
This might seem a little strange, but I will say I've never felt like this before. Maybe you and I will spend our lives together, side by side until the end.
Such a friend.
It can be fun to live dangerously, don't you know that I'm here for you? Maybe I'll learn your real name soon, please understand. I can take care of you.
Very well done. Very well done. I think that's excellent. I don't know whose decision that was, but to write her in as exasperated. By the way, the gal that sang was wonderful.
That's Katriva.
What was it?
Yeah.
Wait, say her name again.
Oh, it's Katriva that you're talking to right now.
No. That sang. I mean, wait a minute. No, the thing you did with Jason.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But actually, I don't know.
That
Shouldn't discredit what you did in the audio. I was picturing her being exasperated, so I was thinking of the gal.
Okay. I can't remember who that was.
I don't remember either.
Okay, but Katriva, you sang in the MP3 files that I have. Then the ones that were recorded in a studio or something.
Yes. Yeah, that was me and Nick. Yeah.
Fantastic. Good. That's a nice
Yeah,
little,
that was me on an off day, so
that's a nice little trivia for me to know because I had no idea that Sue was singing. Oh, that's wonderful.
That's what's the best. Yeah, it was me and Nick.
Yeah.
We were a little hungover. Sorry, but
I'm sure, Tyler, you can appreciate the music that they put to your idea. I don't know if you came at them with the lyrics and they just punched them up, or
Oh yeah, more than punch up.
Okay, or if you came at
Definitely.
them with the idea for the lyrics and they just went did their thing with it. But to mention a few favorites, thanks to you.
Another job well done, and in record time, we stopped another perp. He was out of his mind. The ratings for the show are high. The reign of crime is through. We've done another bang-up job, and it's thanks to you. It's thanks to you.
Thanks to you.
It's thanks to you.
Thanks to you.
Another wonderful, tasteful, brilliant episode. It's thanks to you.
Thanks to you.
It's thanks to you.
Thanks to you.
It's thanks to you, and thanks to you, and thanks to you.
that's my favorite too. I think.
Yeah.
I love the cheeky moments in some of these songs. Like the decoy says, "What a wonderful day! My tea did the trick. I'm grateful that I'll never have to see his tiny car." Marvelous. The mouse is in my hand. There's a line there. Who will accept me? I need to find true love. No matter how old she is, I'll mount her picture on
the wall.
That it's
So
all
wrong.
ridiculously silly and fun. And as is the entire idea, Tyler. I hope you know that. It's ridiculous, and I love it.
Well, I just thought of the singer that you were mentioning. Nancy Lopez was her name. So I wanted to
there you
get
go.
Nancy Lopez. That's right. Yeah.
I thought she was great.
She's
And
great.
the fellow on the keyboards was a standout as well that day, whatever his name was.
Wesley, yeah.
Gentle. Yeah, Wesley
Wesley
Gentle.
I was just thinking nicely, but I was close. Wesley Nicely? No, Wesley Gentle. And then I knew it was a nice name like that. Let's see. Well, we have less than a minute. We've jostled around on the screen a little bit, and to explain that to my audience, I'm cheap, and this is a tin pot little YouTube channel that didn't pay for professional Zoom, so
That's okay.
we actually shut down there for a minute, and we've all come back. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day, and I'm glad we didn't interrupt Katriva's dinner. By the way, that pizza looks fantastic.
Oh, it's so good. It's the best pizza in Fort Worth. So we went to. I left to get the pizza at 6:00, and we waited in the drive-thru for 45 minutes. So we had it all planned out. I was going to eat before the meeting and everything, and I hadn't eaten all day. So I was like, I'm sorry.
No,
in order for me to be cognizant, I gotta have some pizza.
What was the pizza place?
Nizza Pizza. It's so good.
Nizza Pizza, fantastic. Well, there's at least one very famous predator that brought pizza to the house, and that's the Jeff Sokol. I asked you if you recognize two names. Jeff Sokol brought pizza and proceeded to eat his pizza while Chris Hansen interviewed him, completely unfazed.
Remember that? I do remember.
Completely unfazed. He says, do you mind if I eat? No, go ahead. Have a slice. Let's see if any of this jogs your memory while you enjoy your pizza, said Chris Hansen. But, I'd have to say from what little I know about you guys, if someone said, which one of these three would you expect to eat their pizza while you were interviewing? I'd say probably Katriva. I wouldn't doubt if there's maybe a glass of wine right there somewhere.
No, we were running late, but we were going to get wine, and I'm not a wine drinker. That's so weird. Today I was like, I'm feeling like wine. So funny that you said that.
The only reason I say that is because of Dreams Are Scary. You seem to really be enjoying your wine in that filming of that. So I wasn't trying to make a comment on your the amount that you drink, but I just
I very much that's what I'm known for. Really,
I knew that.
It's not theater; it's your wine consumption.
It's my wine consumption, really, is what it is. Yeah.
So the last few things I want to discuss. I particularly like the music in the song "Hero," and I don't know if you guys. It's been a few years. I don't know if you'll recognize when I say "Hero." Does the song ring a bell?
When I was just a boy, I dreamed of saving the world. Little did I know that evil had unfurled. That was just a dream. The world ain't what it seemed. I tried to be a hero. I tried to be the hero of my dream. Should have been a hero. Should have been the one to chase all the monsters, all the bad dreams. That's what I should have done. I should have been a hero. Should have been the one. All I need's a new start. My life's falling apart. I just know how I'm gonna go on.
I'm wondering, do any of you have a favorite song in the musical?
Okay, so I have a favorite part, and
Okay.
I think Nick knows exactly.
I know
what
exactly which one. Wait, yeah.
It's the fried chicken part. There's no fried chicken in the musical. But it sounds like "Love That Chicken" from Popeyes or something like
Yeah,
that, right?
Yes.
So now
Song
I'm gonna have
it
to
is.
go through and listen to it because I don't remember any
No,
Love
I'm
That
at
Chicken
my
from
laptop
Popeyes.
right now.
Now
so
I
let me see
can't
if I
undo
can-
it. Now I
Yeah,
cannot
which
undo it.
which one? Which song is it? It's at the very end. Of
It's
the...
like at the very end. How does it go? It's so.
Okay,
Freaking
No, I'm
good.
working on it.
alive.
Now that I mention it.
I have the very end of the final verse of the musical. Is it possibly in the final verse?
No, I think it's the
Okay.
second to last song is what it is. Let me see if I can find it. But that's my favorite part. I really do like. I love singing "The Mouse Is in My Hand," but "Thanks to You" is probably. I don't know. That might be my favorite song in the musical.
That's
I don't
pretty
know.
good. That's one where the Decoy and Hanson are singing back and forth to one another. Is that correct? It's thanks to
Yes.
you. No, it's thanks to you. It's thanks
Yeah.
to
Thanks
you.
to
It's
you.
thanks to you. Another brilliant, beautiful Sata episode. I can't think of the exact line, but yeah, it's thanks to you.
Thank God she only looks 13, and it's thanks to you.
You see, I mean, I know while I'm listening to the music, how much fun you guys had making this. Tyler,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's wonderfully ridiculous. It's To Catch a Predator in anyways, the entire show is just ridiculous.
It is, yeah.
It's enjoyable. Some people, because we have an actual community of people that still follow the show, it's like, oh, you guys, you're a bunch of weirdos. You're like those weirdos. But the whole thing is that the entire sting operation, there was never any young people at risk. It was always adults being bad, talking to adults, being caught by adults. There was zero children involved at all, and I think that helps us, cleanse our palate when we enjoy these, this show for what it is. It's like
Right.
people being put on blast for making the hugest mistake you could ever make in your entire life. I asked you guys if you knew about Lorne Armstrong. There's this long-running joke that this fellow Lorne Armstrong, his famous line is "Oh God." He says "Oh God" when the cameras come out, but his accent from Maine, it sounds like "Oh cod." And so there's this joke that formulated from that he was saying that cod was his god. They formed a church of cod based around this individual, and it is said that Lorne Armstrong was sent to Earth to do the most horrendous, stupidest thing anybody could ever do so that we could all feel better about our lives. And we could all look to Lorne and say, you know what? I'm having a shitty day, but at least I'm not that guy.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
I'm not COD guy.
Yeah, I'm not COD guy. So praise COD, the Church of COD. Yeah, so there's a
COD.
rabbit
That's
hole
great.
for you to look into possibly for your second act. It's truly ridiculous, and you guys know, and I could see how much fun you must have had. Quickly, apparently was to be a dream ballet sequence. I think that's hilarious.
I forgot about that. That's right.
It's a tradition that needs to be brought back into modern American musicals, and I'm going to do it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Bring
And
it
was
back.
that to be performed? I was listening to the songs and trying to decide where that would land, and it looks like it lands in the script around Cyberland. Is that
Yeah.
the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Yes.
sounds right. Yeah.
We would need a dream curling and a dream roaring like in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Down in Cyberland, Cyberland. I want someone to love me like I love my vintage toys. I never thought I'd become a savior for little girls and boys. But it takes such a toll down in Cyberland, Cyberland, Cyberland.
A ballet sequence in To Catch a Predator, the musical.
Gosh.
Yes.
I-
And it
I
doesn't
feel
have to be
like
like
when we-
legit ballet. It can be somewhat of a parody of ballet.
Well,
you
the
know,
script it
interpretive
says
dance.
interpretive, right?
Yes.
So I mean that leaves it open to.
I feel like that was something we knew had to be in Cyberland, and then we kind of earmarked it to come back to it, and we just never.
I think that's right. I think it was in Cyberland, like that we were going to put
Yeah.
a whole, sequence
And we
inside
just-
of the song. Yeah.
Yeah, we never wrote the accompaniment.
No.
Oh well.
The
We will eventually.
the
Yeah.
fellow Wesley Gentle, he delivers he performs a character, and I wonder if was he performing it in his style, or was that the way it was written with this sort of highbrow, almost like a college university chap with a pipe or something. The way he's delivering the voice, and then when he says, "Oh, I'm free to go," oh, goodbye.
Dang it.
Well, why don't you take a seat there? Explain these online transcripts. Are you looking for a good time?
I don't remember writing that. I'm a high school guidance counselor and a fan. This isn't what it looks like. I'll be leaving now. Goodbye.
He runs out the door, greeted by police lights and sirens.
That was him, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
that was
That was him.
beautiful.
Yes, he's a classically trained operatic singer. I mean,
Yes,
he's got
Wesley
an
and I
incredible voice,
were.
yeah.
That's how we met, was through musical theater. And he joined Fort Worth Opera after I was with Fort Worth Opera, and he just continued with them. I'm pretty sure for a long time. But he's fantastic. He's a fantastic person, great singer. So we were lucky to have him for sure.
Okay, yeah, just the character that he created for that part was so great, because you only had I think 3 people that day doing voices, so you have more than 3 characters to represent. So he's got to come up with something that's different, and that character he came up with is hilarious, and because it's like a upstanding citizen. Like, what am I doing here? Oh my goodness, am I being caught? Oh, am I free to go? Oh, goodbye. So funny, so ridiculous.
Good.
Well, let's get to the final verse, because I think the final verse for me, again, I can picture you guys writing this, and it is silly, and it's perfect for the final verse of this, at least this act of the show. And it says, "So let's set a course to use the greatest force. We're watching every single day for minimal financial pay. It's our raison..." Now, I don't speak French. I got a D in French in high school. "It's our raison d'etre de jour when we catch a predator." That is hilarious and marvelously silly. And I can picture you guys in the writer's room there on the piano going, "Oh my God, this is so fucking funny." Like,
That was all you, Nick.
it's a raison d'etre
Yeah.
de jour.
I don't know where it came. That's one of those things. I think I was humming on the way to work, and that was a jumble.
Catch a predator.
Yeah.
that song, the vibe of that song, I know at some point in my stalking you guys online, I saw somebody mention, it was probably the thing with Jason, an inspiration being Riverboat. Is that what it's called? Is there
Big River?
a musical called is it Big River?
Big River.
Big River.
Big River. Okay.
Yes.
Is that an example of something? Because it sounds, it's such a I don't know what to call it. The other songs are like between the Decoy and the Predator, and they're every song seems to have a different vibe, except for, of course, the reprise, let's call it. But this end one is like, it's really grand. It's really like it reminds me of something I've never seen. Big River, but I'm like, it sounds like something that would probably be like a Big River vibe, like because it's so explosive there at the end, you know. So do you have any comment?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember talking about that's what I love Roger Miller, and he's the one that wrote Big River. But I remember, so anything I can't remember. I honest to God cannot remember the finale. That's why I'm looking on my computer right now. I'm trying to find all the music on my Dropbox, but my internet's not working. That's why I'm on my phone. But yeah, that's one of my favorite musicals. So I was highly inspired by some of the lyrics and the structure of everything. Because that's just one of my favorite musicals. So.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. What do you think?
Because I knew as the finale, we definitely wanted to open it up to be a little more, to be part of this whole.
That's right. Join us.
Yeah, this whole idea of like shenanigans and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's great. I remember it now. That's fun. Yeah.
Tyler, that whole join us theme, that idea, it really brought to mind the what's that old movie, Freaks, I think it's called. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
There you are.
Okay.
But yes, you hit the nail on the head with Freaks. That
okay.
is absolutely, yeah.
It's marvelous. I think it's a wonderful take. It brings us into a definitely an alternate universe of To Catch a Predator, where we're seeing that if To Catch a Predator goes down, all of these people lose their jobs, and it's almost like they need Chris to. Well, it's not almost as if, it is them saying, we are your family. Join us. Yeah. Join us.
Everyone in this world, I see them as the same. Predators all around, and all of you, who do I blame? Join us, join us, join us, join us.
Do you accept your fate? The fate of saving lives. Stand for what you were born to do. On this we will rely on you. Join us, join us, join us, join us.
It's beautiful. It's wicked and it's silly. And before my internet goes out entirely, I want to thank you all for taking the time. I'm not an interview guy. I'm not even a musical guy or a theater guy, but I'm a To Catch a Predator guy. And I really had a lot of fun looking into what you folks have done outside of this. Because again, I'm not an interview guy. I'm like, I don't even know what, I knew what I would ask Tyler, but I'm like, how do I talk to the composers and stuff? I don't know a lot about
it. Was great.
Music,
I had a blast today. This was wonderful.
You are an interview guy for sure.
Okay.
Totally.
Well, I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun though. Looking into basically online stalking, as my AI bot said, which I assure you is not the case. And after this, the only time I will, be looking into what you folks are doing is if you hear through the grapevine that you've got, for example, that I can see Wednesday's Child or something. I would love to see that. And Nick, I would love to know what's going on. Since we still have some time here, can you tell us what you've been up to lately and anything that we might want to look forward to in
sure.
the next Zebron future?
Yeah, like you said, 1,000 ideas a day. It's just trying to get them all out. I've got 3 feature-length theatrical plays currently that I'm writing.
Okay.
I've got a feature-length that I'm currently getting funding for. So that'll be my first film in 9 years now that I'm going to be directing. And I'm also working on a popcorn tossing melodrama So looking forward to that in 2026.
What
Another
a
one?
tossing melodrama. Why am I thinking
Rocky
like
Horror?
like a Rocky Horror
Yeah.
Picture Show? What is that? Popcorn
It is.
tossing melodrama.
It's a melodrama where you have heroes and villains, and they're very clearly defined, and the audience gets to boo and hiss and clap.
Oh,
and,
fantastic! I love it.
And when they hate something or love something, they throw popcorn at you.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so
Katriva,
got that coming up.
What have you got coming up? What's in the Katriva future?
I have. So I shot a short film in January, and that should be coming out this summer. I'm currently editing my first feature film called Bad Cherub, and I'm going to post a Indiegogo link here soon on my Instagram.
Okay.
That Bad Cherub does have its own Instagram, so you can check out all the updates there. It's about a wrestling teen who prays to God for guidance, but is met with a devilish slice of heaven is the tagline. So,
I love it.
Thank you. I'm editing that right now, and then we're gonna do, like I said, Indiegogo for it. Just do some. I need someone to do special effects and animation for me, and that's not my wheelhouse. So I'm gonna
Gotcha.
raise a little bit more money, and then I'm hoping that'll be done by have a screening for Halloween.
Okay, fantastic. And by the way, I'm noticing it says on my screen Katriva's iPhone. If it wasn't mentioned, Katriva's last name is Phillips, correct? Katriva Phillips.
Phillips,
So,
yes.
Okay.
My phone's her last name, yes.
He's so cool. Or not, I don't know.
And finally, my newest friend, I believe, Tyler Cochran. What's up, buddy? What have we got to look forward to in the Tyler Cochran realm?
Well, I've been working at Dallas College, the community college system here in Dallas for the past 3.5 years. I'm in the communications department. And so I get to do a lot of voiceover work for some of our promotional material and get to write some of those scripts. But I shot a pilot for a talk show that's going to be internal just for Dallas College for now. So you'll get to hear my obnoxious voice and see my obnoxious face. As an employee at Dallas College all the time. So on that. So we'll see if it gets off the ground.
And will we be getting more beard in 2025?
Highly likely, yes.
Okay, well, I love it. I saw the last thing I think that I saw that you made was you going around campus talking to people about, where can they go
orientation,
to eat?
yeah.
Orientation, yeah, really.
Yeah.
And I don't believe you were bearded at that time. Is that correct?
No, this was just a midlife crisis, or more than midlife. I'm 40 years old now, so a 40-year-old crisis.
Okay, yeah, that's how I explain my pork chop sideburns.
Oh, they're epic. I love them.
I'll tell people that it's a Conway Twitty tribute, and they won't know who Conway Twitty is. So I'll say, well, it's just a midlife crisis then. But thank you all for joining me. I'm going to edit this down, drop in the music, drop some clips in of footage of projects that you guys have worked on that we discussed, and then I'm going to release it to the internet, and I'll send Tyler a link. I think I've seen an email link for Katriva, possibly on your Instagram. I could send it directly to you as well. Nicholas, I'm not positive. I have a email for you, but again, if I send it on to one of these two individuals, I'm sure it will reach you.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Any last words? Anything you want to say?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
Thank you so much for having us. This was fun. Thank you.
It was a blast. Thank you.
Blast, okay. Nice reminder.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys taking the time. Tyler, do stay in touch.
Okay, I will.
Right.
Thank you so much.
All right, you folks. That's it from the Bakeline Studios in downtown Tokyo. Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
To catch a predator, you have to see that girl through a dirty pervert's lonely eyes. And if you catch him fast, before enough time has passed, he will have to sit and testify to all the things he'd like to do next door to you. But without evidence, that's tough. So let's set a course to use the greatest force. We're watching every single day for minimal financial pay. It's our raison d'etre du jour. When you catch catch a predator.
Sit, Chopper, sit. Good dog.